Blood is in the streets. Crypto is not doing so well right now. Bitcoin found a new cycle low, and the big question on everybody's mind is, how low can we go? Are the mega bears right? Are we going to 10K? Are we going to 12K? Are we going sub 10K? And especially, what does this mean for altcoins? How are things looking right now? So let's take a look at the crypto market. Of course, it wasn't totally unexpected. A lot of people, what's the bottom in 50-50? People were very divided about that. And it turned out that, the half of the people were right. Yeah, so that's that. But let's take a look, because what can we expect? And like I said, what does this mean for altcoins? I think that's a big question, because is this the beginning of the end? Or is this just a little push down, and was this it? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's growing very fast. It's going more parabolic than Bitcoin, unfortunately. So, be a part of the family. Still, by the way, for the new people, doing a challenge right here. You can win a full crypto portfolio. I'm doing a challenge where I set up 4 crypto portfolios with coins called by famous YouTubers like Alex Becker, Crypto Banter, BitBoy, and a community portfolio made by you guys. And I'm deploying around $1,500 or so in every portfolio. And once Bitcoin hits 100K, whenever it might be, we'll take a look at the crypto portfolio with the highest returns, and that's going to be giveaway to you guys. So stay tuned for that. I'll explain to you how, what, why, when, how you can win that exactly. For now, that's not really what this is all about. Couple of weeks back, I made this video right here. Altcoins are in big danger. And it's not about me saying, I was right, because I was also wrong about something. I, not too long ago, said that I'm 60% sure that the Bitcoin bottom was in. Unfortunately, it turned out to be the other 40%, right? And it's not a way bigger difference, though. But still, we have a new low, right? So let's take a look at the market. And like I said, what does this mean for altcoins? Well, this is one altcoin you don't want to be in. This is FTT, right? This is and it's kind of crazy, because the markets in general, not crypto, but the markets in general are doing pretty fine. And we'll come back to that. And crypto has found new lows. So could this be an insanely very good opportunity? You can make the most out of this. So let's talk a little bit about that. But first of all, there wasn't good news about FTX. CZ took over basically of FTX, and yeah, therefore the FTT token got sold a lot. But now also the question is what value does the token have, right? I mean, it's good for the BNB coin. But for FTT, no. I was shorting this token, made a lot of money from that. And I should have kept my short open, but well, whatever. It could have, would have, whatever. That's not really important. So let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. So what you notice is quite funny. Or it's not funny to see. What's kind of insane though is that a lot of people are now still saying okay, we go to 10K. Whether that will happen or not, keep this in mind. Bitcoin had a full body drawdown of around, I don't know, 10%, give or take, in one day. 10%, right? And if we, there was more, but turned out to be a fake out. But this was a heavily red candle of almost 20% in a day for Bitcoin. These things happen. It's not the first time, but it's not that happens every month or week. This is quite exceptionally. And it is painful, and it brings a lot of panic in the market. And although this happens, I feel and you can see it in the chart, retail is over exaggerating, and they're over panicking, right? Because we went down to 18.5, give or take, right? And we came down more to around, well, this chart says it was 16,950, let's say 17K, right? And this is also where people sold. Calm down, don't judge too soon, because this was in a matter of I think an hour or so, already bought up. Look, this was a 1 hour candle. maybe even 15 minutes, I don't know. And it went back from 17 to 18.3 in basically no time. And the good thing is that, you know, this range, basically, to put it like this, for now, nothing has really changed, right? Because we were ranging, right? And we were ranging between this and this for a while, and this for a while, and this for a while. But overall, this yellow line of around 21 and a half, give or take. You can also put it like here. It kind of depends. Let's say 22 and a half, right? So let me remove this. This is noise for now, right? So we were basically since June already ranging here, right? And we had a fake out to the downside here, and we had a long list, not even being called a fake out because this was for July up till August. So this is like a big month. I don't know if you can call that a fake out, but eventually we came back in the range. And now we are basically doing the same. We're just at the bottom side of the range. That's it. Like, yes, Bitcoin made a new cycle low in the fake out, but we didn't make a permanent new low or something like that. So it's not that drastic. So you'll notice that, you know, once we get there, okay, cool, but we get bought up like instant, like showed you within an hour. So we get bought up pretty fast. If we look at the volume that kicked in, we got a lot of volume, right? We got this insane volume spike right here. So you can say whatever you want, but this level right here is not an easy level. And I told in my video on my other channel yesterday, on the Fomotion channel, that around $17,000 is a big level to watch out for. Because if you look at this, like this level right here, this 20k or so, yeah, that wasn't much, but the real support is basically sitting around this level, that's 16 and a half up till 17 and a half. So let's say $17,000. Also here, there's a lot of stuff going on around that level, right? So that's a level to really look out for, and that's exactly where it's right now. So it's looking more like, and I wouldn't anticipate too much on this yet, because the market is very volatile right now, and there is a lot of sentiment in the market, and people are very scared right now. But if you ask me, if we hold this, let's say 18,100, give or take, 18,000, depends on where you draw the line. If we hold that, then I think it will be okay. We bounce and we go back to 19, 20, maybe at the top of the range again, eventually 22, but we still in this range, right? And what you also can make out of this is basically, and like there are both fake outs, but basically we have a bottom right here and we have a bottom right here. We have almost, like it's never perfect, but almost a perfect double bottom, right? It's a difference of like 4%, give or take, right? So it could mean a double bottom, right? And let me say this, the 2022 bear market is the 2022 bear market. A lot of people like to compare this, and they're scared that, you know, we see a bear market like this, you know, that where we are somewhere right here right now at around $6,000, and it went down to like $3,000 in a matter of a few days, right? A lot of people think that might happen, but that very extreme wick down is also because we had a very, you know, clear blow off top. Well, that's definitely not what we had in 2022. So if the top is totally not comparable, I don't like to compare the bottom as well. Right. So what it more looks like, but what would be worse, in my opinion, though, is that it's more like the 2015 bear market. Right. Because here also, but we went down. We had a bottom right here. We went up, went sideways for a few months, and then here we had pretty much the exact bottom again, right? And then we went up. Why is that worse? Well, because this bear market took a lot longer. Like we topped in December 2013, and we start going up like 2 years later. 2 years later. So, yeah, if that's the case, then this could take a while, right? But then again, this is not the case. This bear market is this bear market, right? And for the very long-term bulls out there that want to hear something positive, when will the bull market start? Well, in my opinion, like it's kind of hard to say this, because I told in my previous videos that, you know, we had the pi cycle bottom indicator, and that's when these two lines, these moving averages, cross, right? But when they cross again the other direction, that's where we go up. It's a little lagging, by the way, so once it crosses, we're already going up, right? But that's basically the move we are waiting for. However, I don't know how accurate this is going to be this time, since this is also the first time that our pi cycle bottom indicator was very off, right? Like we had at one time it was perfect, nailed it perfectly. One other time in the bear market we had it pretty much perfect. And this time there is, you know, if this was the bottom, we even had a difference of a month. But officially this is the bottom right here. Right, so you know the technical bottom is in right now. For now, at least, we can go low. Maybe by the time you watch this video, we're already lower. I don't know, right? But you know, this thing is off, and maybe it doesn't time the correct time. Maybe it doesn't indicate the correct timing, but maybe it does indicate, you know, the price. And if that's the case, like I said, there's not a big price difference in these two bottoms, right? So it could maybe be that this is the bottom, but I don't, you know, want to place my bets on that right now. I just want to go into this 50-50, man. And what's also, and before we dive into the altcoins and some bullish news though, is you know, I talk a lot about the stochastic RSI on the weekly, and every time that's high, like here, and it has to reset at some point, right? It's overbought right here, and it has to get to its oversold territory again to reset, so we can go back up. But what happens with the price in the meantime? Well, 50% down here, we went like, I don't know, man, 60% down, 63% down. So, and now we are at these lows, but it's yet that high. So, yeah. The scenarios are this. This will go down. It could stay up, right? But eventually it will go down and will reset, right? Scenario one is like this just crossed right here, as you can see, right? This crossed. So that's usually a point where you say like, okay, this might come down now, right? If this now goes down, then there is a very legit chance that the market is going down around 50% again as well. And yeah, that would put Bitcoin around 10K. Simple. I cannot say anything else about that. But there are more possibilities, of course. It could be like we've seen a lot. Like a lot. For example, this is a very good example right here. What happened right here? Well, what happened right there, we were very overbought. So you would have thought like, okay, that has to come down. But it didn't really. It came down like a little bit. And in this small run-up right here, Bitcoin went up pretty much. And when it resetted it, it basically came down, but to these same levels. And then when we went up again, we had a really parabolic run. So it's, of course, also possible that this will stay here a little bit, that the price in the meantime resets, goes up, right? That we then come down, but the price basically comes down to the same level, give or take. And then when we go up again, that the price really starts to break out. That's also a possibility. So this is not an indicator that says like, okay, we are going to make new lows now and we are going to go down. But, you know, I'd rather see it here right now than here, to be honest. So, you know, do with it whatever you want. I must say, though, and let me check. I opened 2 trades right now. One trade that I have my doubts if that was a good trade, and one other trade that I feel like, yeah, that's going to be a fine trade, right? And these are my trades right here. I opened a long on Bitcoin starting from, you know, $70,600, give or take, right? So it was pretty much near the bottom that I opened my long. That's going pretty well. Like I have 40% gains for now on it. But, you know, look, I mean, I will be in loss when we get here again, right? And I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna set my new targets then as well. I'm just dollar cost into this thing a little bit. But I also have my Solana trade, and that's a very risky trade because there's a lot of Solana FUD going on right now. And Solana is just not doing great. Like if we look at the charts, Solana is really looking bad, guys. But it's also because of the FTX news. And fundamentally, nothing changed about Solana. So when it comes to that, I still feel like, yeah, it doesn't matter really how low Solana goes. Yeah, it's not good for my long position right here, of course. But fundamentally, Solana is still a fantastic chain. That hasn't changed in my opinion. So if Solana goes, sub 20, $15, $10, whatever, then I feel like, man, that, we have to check the fundamentals by then again, but that might be a great buying opportunity. So let's take a quick look at some altcoins and some bullish news. And before I'm going to talk about the altcoins that I said, like, okay, this is trouble, right? And how it's looking right now, and maybe what our good buying points are for some altcoins. But the bullish news is this, right? The S&P is doing pretty okay, right? In the last couple of days, the S&P went from like, well, it had its low right here, a cycle low, 3,500, and it's now at 3,800. That's a big pump for a stock, right? For a big stock like that. That's a really good pump. Right, we are going to face some resistance. If it goes on like this, I think the S&P might get to 3,900. And you have to understand, like, you might be in crypto, so you might feel like, yeah, why does this matter? Well, it's still correlated. So the better stocks are doing in general, the better crypto is doing. But this crypto crash was a purely crypto crash. This has nothing to do with the macro, right? So it's kind of childish for me to say this, but the bears that said that Bitcoin was going to see new lows and now feel like, oh, I was right. Yeah, but you were kind of right for the wrong reasons, because everybody was saying macro is bad, so we go down. This had nothing to do with macro, because stock market is doing great. Matter of fact, if we look at the DXY, right, this is looking good, right? Because, sorry for the mess right here, but the DXY is going lower and lower and lower. It went from 140.15 basically almost to 19.5. Right, and this is a very big support point for the DXY. So we have to see what happens right here. But if it breaks this level and it goes down, I can see some really bullish stuff going on. Because if we take a look at this, like, guys, like, you can draw this. Oh, I have this trend line already, so let me remove my my drawings right here, because that's really a mess. So let me draw this trend line for you guys. Look. Let me. Here we go. We don't count these fake outs. Here, touching point. Well, little touching point right here. Like, what we don't want to see is this right now, right? We broke it, so that's good news. But I mean, for the people that don't know, the lower the DXY, the better for crypto in general, basically, to put it very short-sighted. But we don't want to see something like this, right? Where we go down like this, we have a fake out, we go back up, and then start going, make new higher lows. Because this thing was doing what you want to see in crypto: low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now it is kind of changed, because one, we didn't make a higher high. Yet, at least. Like I said, if we bounce and we go back up, then it's a higher high technically, but this is kind of the high, right? And it's a lower high than what we had here. So that has changed, right? And if we go down, this is a strong support level, but if we do break it and we go below 1.7, yeah, then it's getting bullish, because then we officially also made a lower low, right? This low here, we wipe that out, right? And then the structure is going to change, and then the macroeconomic stuff is going to look a lot better. And eventually Bitcoin is going to profit from that. Because like I said, what happened to Bitcoin was purely because of the FTX news. That was the only reason, as far as I know, that crypto went down. Right? The only reason. It was the same as, I don't know exactly when it was anymore, but the Luna crash, maybe something here or here, I don't know even, was also a big event. Yeah, it was only Luna, but it's such a big gap thing. Plus, you know, FTT or FTX is one of the biggest exchange. It affects the whole market, right? But eventually, if now the macro is starting to look a little better, like short term at least, right? I feel like, man, then we get a very nice buying opportunity here from Bitcoin. And once everything is, the dust has cleared and everyone has breathe in, breathe out. Okay, cool. Forget a little bit about it because markets move fast. Like this is big news. But I think in a week, you don't even see a lot of people talk about Twitter on it anymore, to be really honest. Not as now, right? Because now it's completely fresh, right? And then I think we can see the market moving up again as long as the DXY is giving us some very bullish signals, right? So with that being said, Ethereum, not looking so good, to be honest, because I said like Ethereum was in this downtrend, right? Since the bear market started, touch here, and we broke it not too long ago, right? We broke the downtrend. But we went back in that downtrend and we perfectly bounced off the support line that I've drawn for weeks now. So that's beautiful. Like it almost perfectly bounced right here, right? So that's a very nice thing to see. And now it's important, I think, for Ethereum to hold it around, whatever, it was fine. But it's important for Ethereum to at least hold around this, 1250 kind of level. If we break that for Ethereum, then things are starting to look a lot worse. Then I think Ethereum could go back to around this level, which is around $1,030, right? So if we lose this level, then there's not a lot of room for Ethereum. Then I can see Ethereum go down a lot. So keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on that. This is the level Ethereum must hold. And Ethereum also says something about the altcoins, because altcoins are, as far as I know, more correlated to Ethereum than to Bitcoin. So yeah, if you want to get a general overview for altcoins, just also look at the Ethereum chart. I think the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is, well, kind of down, but not that much. Yeah, no, it's still okay. It's fine. Let's take a look at the total tree. So this is the crypto market except Bitcoin and except Ethereum, right? So all the altcoins, well, except Ethereum. Here, yeah, nothing really changed. Like, yeah, it changed. We came down a fuckload, of course, but we are still holding this line perfectly. And this is the big trend line for the altcoin market. And yeah, you can put it like where we are right now. So it has a lot more touches, by the way, because we had a lot of fake outs. This is basically the level which we must hold, right? Here also a lot of support. Here, major support. Yeah, it doesn't go further back like here a little bit, but if we lose that level, yeah, then it's what I said in my other video that I showed you at the beginning. Then altcoins are really in trouble. And what do I mean by that? Well, if I look at this chart, there is not a lot of support like the coming few weeks, months, right? Like maybe this level right here, right? So let's put in a line here, like maybe here. But you have to remember that what we just saw in altcoins, we saw a 10% drawdown, give or take, right? If we go here, then that's another 10%. So then the same thing will happen to your altcoins again, on top of what you already lost, right? So keep that in mind. But this is the first level, and this is not a big level, to be honest. Like the really big level is, yeah, I hate to break it, but that's really around here. So if we lose that level, which is on the table, then altcoins might lose another, what is this, 40%, give or take? 47, 40, 50%. And it's not that you can take your portfolio and be like, okay, this will go down on around 40%, right? There's a lot more that goes down, right? Because this is everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, but this is also stables, right? This is also, so count in stables, right? So if this goes down 40%, stables don't go down 40%. So that's the composite, right? So your altcoins probably go down 60%, right? But this is also the chart with these outperforming altcoins that do very well, like BNB, for instance. So strong, so strong. BNB didn't give a fuck about all of this, right? Like it had a fake out to the upside, like around $400 for a second, and it got down again, but it's basically still higher than the range of what it was. Like BNB is so strong. Like, and there are a lot of these coins that are strong or that just pop, right? But you know, the other altcoins have to compensate for that. And I am afraid that if we make this move, then you can, if you are like mostly in altcoins, I think you can see your portfolio nuke like maybe 70-80%. Like that's definitely possible. So please watch out. And also, if we just take a look at some altcoins, just random altcoins right here, and I put it on the weekly, and this is the Bitcoin chart. So if you pay attention to the stochastic RSI, you'll see that a lot of these altcoins, especially the USDT pairs, are still pretty overbought, right? If you take a look, it's not like in this area right here. For example, these are all Bitcoin charts. Here are the USDT charts, right? Uniswap still quite high. Moon River, yeah, okay, looking good. Moonbeam, completely overbought. Arweave, kind of high, right? Rune, looking fine. Chainlink, super overbought. Like there are a lot of these coins, if I go to it, you don't see them at the oversold territory that much, right? So the problem, and this is the medium risk, right? Like, I mean, I'm not even talking about the high risk or the gaming or the whatever. So I think a lot of altcoins have a lot of room to go down if the market allows, right? And for now, we are still holding a very important support line, a very strong support line, which I hope we will hold. But I don't know if we're going to hold that. I don't know. I just don't know. I can't give you that answer, right? I just want to give you the possibilities, what happens if we do and if we don't. That's basically the thing. So yeah, it's looking kind of messed up when it comes to that. So I hope Bitcoin reclaims and it stays above, like, let's say $18,000. If it stays above that for, well, if I put it on the 4-hour chart, if it stays above that for at least today, I will be already a little more, calm. But it would be best if we have a couple of days closing above this level. It doesn't have to go all the way to $20,000 or anything. But just see us holding this level and not close really below that, right? That will be trouble. That will be trouble, because then I can see Bitcoin going down quite a lot. Yeah, very shortly, like where can Bitcoin go if we do not hold this level? Yeah, you see these lines right here. Like, this is an important level right here. I think that a lot of people, they don't talk about this, but I think this is a very important level, and this is it. So let me remove, well, this, yeah, fuck it. Let me remove this one first, and let me remove this one. So this yellow line right here, the lowest line, is around 16K, right? We had a lot of resistance here. We had more resistance here than we had at 20K. And you know how big that 20K level is, right? So that 16K is a huge support level. Also, here was a lot of stuff going on. And it doesn't look like a lot, but this is the weekly chart. If I put it on the daily chart, you can maybe see a little bit better. Here we go. You'll see that we had some resistance right here. We came down, tested it perfectly as support, and no problem, we went up, right? So that's a very strong level. And back here, we have a lot of stuff going on as well. Was resistance, was support, it was everything, right? So I think that that's the most important level that we should look out for. 16K. I think that if we break 18K to the downside, we go there. At 16K, I would definitely put in more long positions on Bitcoin. And yeah, then it's a matter of just looking for levels, man. Like if we break that, if we break that, if we break that, I just want to say like maybe we should talk about it when it comes to that. But then again, Bitcoin had a very big drawdown. So it shows us that in a single day, it could make that move, right? We went down like 10% in one day. What if we go down another 10% from here? That would put us exactly at that level, by the way. So it's definitely possible, although I think the shock has already been done, right? The most damage, like it's mostly the market is over-exaggerating about this kind of news. Like in the long term, it's never good news. But in the short term, yeah, you see that amazing wick that it had and got bought up right away again. So that's basically what I'm looking at. I would love just to see that the stochastic RSI resets on the weekly chart. And this could take like... to the end of the year, probably, maybe beginning next year, then it resets. Let's see where we are by then. What I will do in the meantime is like, okay, let me put it like this, what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is this. I said in one of my last videos that I was 60% sure that the bottom was in. So I'm 60% in coins and I'm 40% in cash. I didn't deploy now. I opened my long, but I didn't deploy anything. Because I felt like this level right here, it's not that much down yet. So I'm not feeling like, okay, I should deploy more cash right now. If it goes to 16K, I will. But if it stays here, it's basically in the same range and it will be fine. And there won't be really in the slightly longer term. I don't think there will be many changes in my portfolio. So I'm still 40% in cash. Work on creating a passive cash income, really, because if you do not have that, then this is really painful. If you are very much in cash, then you love this, right? But then it's very painful if the market goes up. So I just like to be around 50-50. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I will make a new video about that, but it's basically that the coins that I'm in, I'm making sure to go off that list and look like, where can I stake or farm this in the meantime? Just get more, right? I'm in C5 fund, for example. It's one of my favorite projects. I have a very big allocation right there. But I'm also staking it, farming it, and I'm getting money every single day. Right? So that way, if the market goes up, I'm going to take that profit into cash. Cool. And if the market stays down, it's cool. I'm going to compound it and I'm going to have way more and way more and way more. And then when the market goes up, then you really notice the difference, right? So you will be okay, but don't act too soon or too drastic. So that's what I wanted to update you guys with. I hope you found this a little useful. If you did, like the video. I forgot about a lot of stuff, probably. So I'm really curious to what you have to say about this. What are your expectations? Let me know. And I'll see you tomorrow.